With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy, blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 3 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Unsere Sendungen bieten viele Sprachen. Gehen Sie auf suprememastertv.com/schedule.
I saw the snares of the devil spread on all the earth, and I groaned, saying, "Who can escape such snares?" And I heard a voice saying to me, "Humility." St. Anthony the Great, Vegan, Venerated Hermit of the Desert, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegan, your passport to heaven is extended.
While visiting beautiful Egypt, express your gratitude with shukran, which means thank you in Arabic. Gracious viewers, my name is Sarah. We faithful Egyptian people send you warm greetings and pray that your days be filled with beauty and harmony. Welcome to part 2 of the two-part series entitled St. Anthony the Great, Vegan, Venerated Hermit of the Desert. Christian monasticism began with small communities founded by the Desert Fathers, including St. Paul of Thebes and St. Anthony. St. Anthony was one of the first Christians to live as a hermit in the desert. A saint of divine wisdom and grace, St. Anthony provided the example that others would follow, including St. Pachomius the Great, who is regarded as the founder of Cenobitic monasticism. St. Anthony's life influenced countless people for generations, shaping the history of early Christianity. At the age of 35, St. Anthony crossed the Nile in search of complete solitude to devote himself wholly to prayer and penance. He found an old abandoned fort on a mountain by the Nile and lived there for 20 years. He refused to see any pilgrims. Gradually, a number of followers established themselves in caves and huts around the mountain, begging St. Anthony to be their spiritual leader. Around the year 305, he emerged from his solitary retreat full of the spirit and vitality of God. He was not troubled by the sight of crowds, nor was he overjoyed at being honored by so many. St. Anthony guided his followers in developing spiritual discipline. They soon renounced all forms of comforts such as baths and rests. Their energies were focused on singing psalms, praying, fasting, and giving alms to the needy. All their thoughts and desires were reserved for God alone. Among his disciples was Saint Athanasius I of Alexandria, who was also Saint Anthony's biographer and close friend. According to Saint Athanasius's records, Saint Anthony was spiritually rewarded with the ability to heal the sick and converse with God. He taught his followers by word and example, living an ascetic, isolated life. Although St. Anthony did not create a monastery, a community grew around him. The mountains and desert were the home of monks and ascetics that followed St. Anthony. According to St. Athanasius, St. Anthony heard a voice telling him, "Go out and see." Walking outside his cave, St. Anthony saw a man weaving mats with palm leaves, who then stood to pray. He was an angel sent to teach St. Anthony how to overcome boredom by combining manual work with prayer. St. Anthony spent 5 to 6 years teaching the ascetics around him before retreating further into the desert mountains between the Nile and the Red Sea. The prayer of hesychasm was found in the ruins of a cell in the Egyptian desert from around that period. Hesychasm is a mystical tradition of contemplative prayer in the Eastern Orthodox Church and can be traced back to the Desert Fathers and the practice of inner silence and continuous prayer, or Jesus prayer.
Turn vegan now. Free yourself from hell.
Altruistic viewers, let's take a moment to pray that all humans be guided by the divine for a peaceful, glorious planet. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to St. Anthony the Great Vegan, Venerated Hermit of the Desert, Part 2 of 2. Despite living in solitude, St. Anthony cared greatly for his brothers. When Christians were being persecuted in the year 311, he traveled to Alexandria to minister to those who had been detained and to support those who were on trial and being interrogated. When the persecution ended, he returned to the desert to continue living his pious life. St. Anthony lived during a time of transition for Christianity. The year 303 saw the last major formal persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire. 10 years later, in 313, Constantine I issued the Edict of Milan and accepted the Church. Christianity was made legal in Egypt. Thus, the things of God and the things of Caesar officially fused together. The clergy began to enjoy special legal rights, financial advantages, and social dignity. Unfortunately, this comfort gave rise to a nonchalant version of Christianity, and people began to pursue a career in the church for all the wrong reasons. News of the famed St. Anthony reached Constantine I, and the emperor wrote to him, offering praise and requesting his prayers. St. Anthony paid it no attention. However, the brethren were pleased by the emperor's letter, believing that Emperor Constantine loves the church. They insisted St. Anthony reply, so he wrote a letter to the emperor and his son, saying, "Not to think much of the present, but rather to remember the judgment that is coming, and to know that Christ alone was the true and eternal King." In a frequent vision, St. Anthony would view the happenings in Egypt from a mountain top. One day, during a vision, he burst into tears and said,
"Wrath is about to seize the church, and it is on the point of being given up to men who are like senseless beasts. For I saw the table of the Lord's house, and mules standing around it, on all sides in a ring, and kicking the things therein, just like a herd kicks when it leaps in confusion."
St. Anthony heard a voice saying, "My altar shall be defiled." He foretold the persecution that would happen to the church and its control by heretics before the church's eventual restoration to its formal glory. Around the year 342, in a dream, St. Anthony was told of the existence of the older hermit St. Paul of Thebes and went to find him. They met each other when St. Paul was aged 113 and conversed for 1 day and 1 night. When St. Anthony visited him again, St. Paul had passed away. St. Anthony dressed him in a robe given by St. Athanasius. Then he buried St. Paul with 2 lions helping to dig the grave. There is a story about how St. Anthony healed a pig person who became his friend and would follow him everywhere. This was how the legend of St. Anthony as protector of the animal people began. St. Anthony's followers wore white linen robes reaching below the knees, with a thick belt around the waist. This is seen all over the world today in monastic orders. Pilgrims from all over the world would seek him out in the desert to be cured of ailments by the power of his prayer or for counseling. St. Anthony the Great passed away in 356 at the age of 105 and was buried in the desert by two disciples, Macarius and Amatas. They kept his grave a secret per St. Anthony's special request, lest his body become an object of worship. Before his death, the saint had instructed his disciples to preserve the Orthodox faith in its purity and to be diligent in their monastic life, saying,
Strive to be united first with the Lord, and then the saints, so that after death they may receive you as familiar friends into the everlasting dwellings.
St. Anthony's followers established the monastery of St. Anthony, located in the eastern desert of Egypt, 334 kilometers southeast of Cairo, one of the most prominent in Egypt. The monastery is visited by several hundred pilgrims each day. Today, the monastery is a self-contained village with gardens, a bakery, a mill, and 5 churches. The medieval Church of St. Anthony has a central sanctuary and the walls are covered with frescoes. Two kilometers from the monastery is the cave where St. Anthony lived as a hermit. St. Anthony is often depicted holding a scroll that reads, I saw the snares of the devil spread on all the earth, and I groaned, saying, Who can escape such snares? And I heard a voice saying to me, Humility. St. Anthony himself left no writings. His biography, Life of St. Anthony the Great, was written by St. Athanasius in Greek and helped spread the concept of Christian monasticism, especially in Western Europe, through Latin translations. The Maronite, Chaldean, and Orthodox churches all claim to be monastic communities following St. Anthony's rule. The Orthodox and Catholic churches celebrate the feast of St. Anthony the Great annually on January 17th and on October 22nd of the Coptic ancient Egyptian calendar. With deep reverence, we pray that St. Anthony the Great's lifelong faith and dedication to God continue to inspire us all on the path to spiritual upliftment. May the heavens lead humanity to live a pure vegan life and to understand that divine realization is the only solution to bring paradise on earth.
If we create a society that sympathizes with the pain of animals, a better world can arrive for humans. A society that respects animals can properly protect the socially disadvantaged. Lee Jian, vegan.
Noble viewers, it has been a pleasure to have your company today. Coming up next is vegan chef Nicole Derschweige Vegan Recipes, part 1 of 2. Budget-friendly orzo pasta stuffed bell pepper, right after noteworthy news, here on Supreme Master Television. May we all be guided by our inner wisdom and compassion.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/ls.